If you watch Philippines videos every night, here is the truth. You may not be researching a country. You may be researching hope.
Hope that you can still feel wanted, useful, and alive.
Filipino warmth is real, but kindness is not commitment. A smile can be completely sincere. Love still has to prove itself over time.
That difference can give one man a second life, or cost another his savings, his judgment, and his way home. Here is the uncomfortable part. Chrissy and I are part of this machine. Put a beautiful Filipina beside an older American or Western man, add some palm trees and the promise of starting over, and people click. We know it, you know it, YouTube knows it.
And we understand why. A man looks at our life and thinks, maybe I could still have love, family, and a reason to wake up excited. Maybe he can, but he needs to understand what he is actually looking at.
Our smiling thumbnails are not fake. The happiness between Chrissy and I is real. But a thumbnail can be completely true and still be an incomplete picture. Our real life was built through hard conversations, family boundaries, money decisions, cultural misunderstanding, health problems, construction disasters, and time. Before this video ends, we are going to give you 5 questions to answer before you sell your house, send serious money, or build a future around a woman you barely know. Picture a man who is 65. His children are grown. His career is finished. The house may be paid for, but the house is quiet. He's not weak and he is not a failure. He may have spent 40 years providing, solving problems, and being the person everybody called when something went wrong. Then, almost all at once, these roles disappeared. Dinner is over. The television is on. He watches one Philippines video, then another, and before long, one video has become 5. Maybe cheap living or younger women attracted the first click, but underneath that click is something deeper. He sees smiles, warmth, family, a home being built, and 2 people laughing together. He sees the possibility of being noticed again, of being useful again, of having affection, purpose, and proof that his story may not be over. There is nothing weak or foolish about wanting a second act. The danger begins when hope is treated as proof and a temporary feeling is allowed to make a permanent decision. Gentlemen, modern America rarely tells an older man to go away. It simply stops asking whether he is still there. The deepest product on Philippines YouTube is not travel information. It is possibility. To understand why that possibility is so easy to misread, you have to understand Filipino warmth from the other side of the camera.
Let me explain this as a Filipina. Many Filipinos are naturally warm. We smile, we ask if you have eaten, we call older men sir. We welcome visitors and make conversations. That kindness can be completely sincere, but sincere kindness is not automatically romantic interest. A woman may enjoy talking with you and still not know if she wants to build a life with you. Her family may welcome you simply because hospitality matters. Foreign men sometimes arrive emotionally hungry, so every warm gesture feels bigger than it is. You have to slow down. Watch her actions when there is no gift, no money request, no emergency, and no vacation excitement. Real commitment is not proven by intensity in the first 3 weeks. It is proven by consistency after life becomes ordinary.
There are 4 stages men often collapse into just one: attention, attraction, affection, and commitment. A man can genuinely receive the first 3 and still not have the 4th. Nobody has to be lying for that misunderstanding to become expensive. Enjoy the feeling, just do not ask the feeling to do the work of verification. The Philippines can compress your emotions. It cannot compress the evidence. The first shock is not the beach, it's being noticed. A guard calls him sir. A woman calls him handsome. After years feeling invisible, ordinary warmth lands with extraordinary force. And the good part is real. It can restore energy, curiosity, optimism, and confidence. Then vacation brain begins to take over. Inconveniences look charming. Sunset feels spiritual. Every red flag receives generous explanation. The defense attorney steps in. Watch for 3 warning signs. Marriage talk within weeks. Sending money early to manufacture trust. And stacking retirement, relocation, a relationship, land, a house, and a business into one enormous decision. Sequence your permanent decisions. Never make 2 of them in the same month. Do not confuse dopamine with destiny. That gap between the emotional high and everyday reality is why I finally wrote this. It's called For a While, Sir, a foreigner's survival guide to living, dating, retiring, and staying sane in the Philippines. The title comes from the most flexible measurement of time in this country. For a while, sir, can mean 5 minutes, 3 hours, next Tuesday, or nobody has any idea what is happening. This is not a tourism brochure, and it is not a book telling you to move here. It has 20 chapters, 2 bonus chapters, and 25 rules of survival, all built to replace fantasy with understanding before fantasy becomes expensive. It covers dating, family, money, healthcare, banking, visas, property construction, and the psychology of starting over. And I will be honest with you, this book is not for a man who has already decided and only wants permission. It is for the man who still wants to get this right. The Kindle edition is on Amazon right now. The link is in the description and the first pinned comment. The downloadable PDF is available. Just write us at
flymetothephilippines@gmail.com.
The book goes deeper. Right now, let us put its most useful test to work. Before you sell a house, transfer serious money, or build a future around someone you barely know, run your plan through these 5 questions. Do not answer for the man you hope to become. Answer for the man you are today. Question 1. If no Filipino were involved, would you still want to live in the Philippines? Separate the country from the relationship. If the answer is no, the woman may have become your entire retirement infrastructure. She is no longer simply a partner in life. She has become the load-bearing wall holding the entire life up. Romance can be the invitation, but it cannot be the only reason life works. Question 2. If nobody called you handsome, would you still have purpose here? Attention is a wonderful bonus and a weak foundation for identity. Purpose, routines, health, friendships, contribution, curiosity, and projects that are still there on a random Tuesday when nobody is telling you how handsome you look.
Attention can wake a man up. It cannot be the only thing holding him up.
Question 3. If your relationship ended tomorrow, would you still control your money, your housing, your documents, and your home? Make that question concrete. Keep money in an account only you control. Keep your passport and original documents in your possession and keep secure backup copies. Maintain enough independent money for temporary lodging and a ticket home. Understand your legal position before finding land, a house, or a business. Affection does not change Philippine ownership law. That is not pessimism, it is adult preparation. Love is healthier when neither person is trapped and neither person controls the other person's survival.
Question number 4. Can you handle 90 ordinary days here, not vacation days? Vacation is not normal life. On vacation, every delay becomes a story. After 2 months, it's just a delay. Rent first, buy groceries, sit in traffic, go through a brownout, visit a local clinic before you need one, deal with rain, noise, paperwork, and a week when nothing exciting happens.
Follow the 90-day rule. Live normally. Do not buy land, start construction, or fund a business during the test. Question 5. Are you building a new life or asking a country and a woman to rescue you from your old one? A second act requires participation. A rescue fantasy makes someone else responsible for your happiness. Pay attention to your reaction to that question. If it makes you curious, you may be ready to plan. If it makes you angry or defensive, the fantasy may be protecting itself. If one answer makes you uncomfortable, that is not a verdict against coming. It is the part of your plan that needs work before you book the flight. Rent your mistakes before you buy them. The Philippines can change your surroundings overnight. It cannot heal your old life overnight. That brings us to the difference between reinvention and escape. Reinvention adds structure. Escape removes it. Reinvention looks like routines, exercise, budgeting, healthcare, planning, friendships, cultural learning, and a purpose that does not depend entirely on one woman. Escape looks like rage at an ex-wife in America, or the political noise back home. It looks like selling everything immediately, making a new partner your entire identity, and expecting geography to cure old baggage. I did not come to the Philippines and become 25 again. I became husband, a stepfather, a builder, a creator, and a consultant. Chrissy and I are building our home in the Cagayan de Oro area. We are developing our mountain place in Bukidnon. We are raising our son, CJ, creating videos, helping clients, and building an ordinary life with responsibilities and purpose. None of that arrived automatically when I passed through immigration. It had to be built. Reinvention adds a life. Escape deletes one.
Some men hear traditional Filipina and imagine a woman who will always agree, never challenge him, and be grateful because he pays the bills. That is not a strong relationship. That is a fantasy with a budget. A good Filipina partner can be loving, family-oriented, and respectful, and still have her own opinions, boundaries, and needs. Traditional does not mean silent. Financial generosity does not give either person authority over the other. Rob and I had to build what we call our third culture. It is not completely American and not completely Filipino. It is ours.
That's right.
We had to discuss family health, privacy, money, parenting, conflict, and what respect means to each of us. If one culture always wins, somebody eventually loses.
This is not an anti-Philippines video. I live here because my life is better here. My second act is not a fantasy about becoming young again. It is morning coffee with Chrissy. It is raising CJ. It is building our home in Cagayan de Oro and developing the mountain place in Bukidnon. It is creating these videos, consulting with men who need an objective second set of eyes, talking with neighbors, laughing with family, solving problems, and waking up with something meaningful to do. The best second act is not pretending to be young. It is becoming deeply engaged with life again. Healthy expats participate. They build routines, friendships, boundaries, health plans, contributions, and a life that exists beyond just one relationship. I did not come here and become young again. I became engaged again.
We are not telling men to be afraid of the Philippines or afraid of Filipinas. Good relationships are real. Happy retirements are real. Second chances are real. But real things do not need you to rush. They can survive questions, boundaries, time, and ordinary life. Come with hope. Just bring your judgment with you.
For a while, sir, it's the book I wish I could hand every man before his first trip, not after the money is sent, not after the house is built, and not after he has sold every exit option. If this video described you, the book takes this conversation deeper and gives you 25 practical rules to keep beside you while you make decisions. The Kindle edition is on Amazon. The downloadable PDF is something you can get directly from us. Just email us. And the links for purchase are in the description box and the first comment. The book is a broad map. If you're facing a specific relationship, family, retirement, property, construction, or major money decision, private consultation with Chrissy and I can give you an objective second set of eyes. We started with 3 words: wanted, useful, alive. Which one explains why you watch Philippines videos? Put just that one word in the comments.
And if you know a man who needs to hear this before he makes a big decision, send him this video. And also, we created the relationship assessment tool. Right here, you can scan the QR code. You can answer all the questions. You can keep the result, or you can email us at flymetothephilippines for you to talk about the things you're concerned of.
They can either scan the QR code or go to the link in the description box. There's 41 questions. We had been consulting for over 18 months before we came up with the app and the 41 questions. You can take that test at home and keep the answer to yourself, or share it with us if you'd like. It's totally free. And there's another free resource, Chrissy. It's our other book we wrote, we give away for free.
The Dumaguete City Guide for 2026. And also the Western Man's Guide on Dating in Asia and in the Philippines.
That's right.
If you are already dating a Filipina online or even boots on the ground, we have a very useful service, the open source social media review.
That's right, Chrissy. You do 6 a week, and you're usually booked up. You have to book 3 days in advance, sign a confidentiality and legal disclaimer, totally ethical and moral, and nothing to be ashamed of if you want to trust but verify. And Chrissy, we have one other resource that we make available, and that is for sale, as well as our new book at Amazon. We have sold over 2,000 copies of Fly Me to the Philippines.
A Modern Man's Guide to Living, Traveling, and Finding Love in the Philippines.
That's right. It's a 303-page travel guide. It spent 20 weeks on the bestseller list in Philippines travel on Amazon.
We offered a lot of services, but if you're not sure yet what service you needed, you can book a 10 minutes free video call with Rob and Chrissy.
There you go. Till next time.
Only here from Fly Me to the Philippines.
Talk to you soon.